back at the talk today. So I got the leg lamp. I'm here at home, so I had to go help my wife. She had a flat tire, so I had to leave early, which is a bummer because I had a bunch of margaritas and I was really excited about getting back to work, putting doors on my credenza. But instead, I got to come home and take my wife to the car place, which whatever, it's all good. Now I'm home, so I can relax and do my talk here from my office downstairs. So talk for today. So. Inflation is a thing, right? We can't get away from it. It's a big deal. But if you're gonna beat this kind of class divide that we've got going on, right, the haves and the have-nots, you're gonna have to start a business. Like, it's the only thing that is gonna give you the ability to at least keep up with the rate of inflation, right? The cost of everything going up. People talk about tariffs. Like, I talk about tariffs a lot. If that causes the price of things to go up, you can raise your prices more easily with inflation, with tariffs, with taxes, with anything when you have a product to sell, when you have a service to sell. It's much more difficult to go to your boss and say, hey, man, I need a raise. Like, the cost of life's too much, and I just can't afford it, because the truth is that there's this thing called the Pareto rule, which is basically the 80-20 rule, right? It basically says that 20% of the people do 80% of the work, right? And anywhere I've been in business and in life, that's been 100% true. You've got people that are super aggressive and super motivated, and then you got other people that are just kind of normal, right? They're just kind of average people, and then again, nothing wrong with that. But the people that really get after it eat their lunch every day of the week, and they're going to get most of the spoils. And when you work for somebody else, it's very difficult to get the kind of income that you need to kind of keep up with what's going on in the world, So that's kind of talk for the day. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and how I've used my business and how I have grown the brand that we have, the Resplendent Crow, how I've increased the quality of the product I build, increased the designs, improved the designs and things that I built to help grow not only the price of the product that I sell, but also the quantity of the products that I sell, right? I can diversify the products that I sell to help kind of smooth out the ups and downs of whatever the economy is doing, So having a business is very helpful, and it's very advantageous to get you to be able to, like I said, keep up with what the hell is going on in the world. So anyway, my name is Eric Wilken, owner of Resplendent Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a small boutique furniture and paint company. We paint about 500 pieces a year. We make a lot of boutique furniture. We make some really high-end, beautiful furniture. You can go to resplendentcrow.com. You can go to themodernwoodworker.com, and you can look at all of this stuff and see what it is that we make. And it's a cool service. We make the furniture right here in St. Louis, Missouri. It's all American made. We don't outsource anything as far as our furniture goes. We are also an importer and designer of brass hardware that comes in from India. So I understand import duties. I understand import law. I understand what it takes to bring a product from outside the United States into America and how we sell that thing, right? So we're kind of a cool company, and we actually do the work, right? We're not just people talking theoretical about things. Like, we actually do the stuff. So I feel like this is a good place to, if you got questions about how this stuff works, we can answer those for you. We can talk about business. We can talk about how making things in America really works, how importing stuff into America really works. And again, it's a practical stream. It's not theoretical. I didn't get a degree in whatever. I got a degree in hard knocks. I just busted my ass and never graduated high school. Figured this thing out, okay? We have a small business here in St. Louis, Missouri. We do a small 7 figures. We have, I think, 8 or 9 employees at this point. We make about 500 pieces a year, and that's our business. That's what we do, and anybody can do this. It is difficult. You do have to work a ton, but it's worth it, right? And so that's what I talk about. So I see we got people coming to the stream. So guys, give me a couple minutes, and I'll say hi to everyone. We'll go through comments and things like that, and we'll continue we'll get the discussion going about whatever you guys want to talk about today. So, all right. So, truth is that as the cost of everything goes up, as regulation goes up, as housing gets more expensive, food gets more expensive, cars get more expensive, eventually that stuff's going to get cheaper, right? But it's going to take a while. Like, I don't know when that's going to happen, but as things continue to get more expensive, you're going to have a way to grow your income. Like, there's just no way around it, So when you own a business and you sell or make a product, you can increase the price that you sell that product for, consummate to what it costs to produce, right, or what it costs to bring it in, to import it, and your sales will generally move with the economy, which is kind of what has to happen. There's not a lot of ways to make a lot of extra money unless you're a heavy asset holder. As the cost of everything goes up, your assets go up, and you can improve your income that way. But it's just very difficult. So what I did is my wife had a company, that she started off in her garage. It was really cool. And I came in and I helped her kind of grow this company. We grew this thing into a furniture business where we were selling, I think we were selling at our peak, we were doing about 1,500 pieces a year. And now we're back to doing about 500 pieces a year. And that's okay. Because the truth is that today we make more money than we made when we were selling a ton of pieces, right? And that's one of the things that you learn about business. You learn that it's not always about how much you sell, right? It's how much you get to keep, right? Your margin is the most important thing, your free cash, right? What you got left after all the bills. And so if you own a business, this really helps you to be able to keep the money that you make. It really, you can chart your course, and that's just super important, So what do? I hear a lot of people want to start their own business. A lot of people want to be able to keep up with the cost of inflation. A lot of people want to be able to do this thing. And the truth is that you have to be good at something, and I tell people this all the time. And if you're in the stream, guys, hit the like button, add to the discussion. And like I said, give me a couple minutes and I'll get into the comments. But you have to be good at something. Like, we always hear people like, just follow my plan, and this is all you got to do to be able to start a business and to grow your income. Follow my 10 steps to become a millionaire. And truth is, it doesn't work that way. You have to be good at something. And I always tell people, like, whatever it is you do, like, you're going to spend 5 to 10 years getting good at something, and then you're going to be able to go out on your own, but you have to really be good at it, So one of the cool things about what we have going on today is if you want to start a business today, it's super easy. I mean, how freaking easy is it to just start a website, right? Get a little bit of money together, promote it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which is what we're on right now. It's very easy to get your product out there. It's very easy to showcase what it is you're trying to do. It doesn't cost very much money. I mean, hell, we had to use the yellow pages back in the day. We don't have to do any of that shit today. Now we got Google, right? We got Meta. We got these platforms that make it super easy to show off your product. You got TikTok. So it's very easy to do it, provided you have good content, But more importantly, you gotta have a good product, because when everybody can do something, then everybody can do something, right? The amount of competition we had 15 years ago is half of what we have today, because everybody's trying to figure out a side hustle, how to make some extra money, because the cost of everything is so damn expensive, So you have to really be good at something. And I tell people all the time that if you got a job that you hate, or you're in a career that you just don't think is going anywhere, it's not what you wanted it to be, you gotta be willing to move home. And you got to be willing to get out of your situation, get out of that apartment, get out of that house, whatever you got to do to get your bills down to nothing, right? As cheap as you can possibly get them, and go to work for somebody for next to nothing, right? Some people call these internships. Some people call these, bitch jobs, bottom of the barrel jobs. Like, you got to be willing to go say, hey, you know what? I messed up. I'm going to go start out. I'm going to go work for somebody making $15 an hour. I'm going to go learn that trade, or I'm going to go learn that skill, or I'm going to go learn whatever it is you want to go learn. You got to be willing to do these things. And if you can't do that, I'm not quite sure what to tell you, but you have to be willing to do something really kind of wild in order to get the genesis of your company going, right? To get that product developed, to get that website going, to learn a little bit about advertising, to learn a little bit about social media creation, content creation, all these kind of things. It takes a lot of learning little tiny skills, but these aren't difficult. Like, there's so many apps and programs that can help you to develop all of these skills today. We didn't have this stuff 15 years ago, but we have it now, and you can accelerate you can accelerate the amount of eyeballs you get on your product, right? The amount of people that kind of see what it is that you're doing, which is freaking awesome, But again, like I said, there's a million other people that are trying to do this now, so it's there's a lot more traffic out there. But if you have a really good product, you have a really good idea, you have really good content, you could cut through it really quickly and grow a company faster than you ever could, So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. It's the only thing I know to really beat inflation, unless you're one of these people that I'm always talking about. That's you're one of the 80-20 people, right? You're the 20% within your company that does 80% of the work. You can get your income up a little bit. You can ask for raises and do these kind of things. And people, bosses will be willing to give you a little bit extra money. But if the cost of everything just continues to go up, like, I don't know how you keep up, So having a product that you can sell really, really helps to to keep your income with inflation, keep it going up with inflation. So that's one of the things that we've done, and I think it's really been helpful. But again, you have to be good at something. Like, you can't just buy someone's course and follow it and not have any knowledge about the product that you're selling. I think those days are probably over. This idea that you can just white label things, which is this idea that you can take a product that's already in existence and make your own version of it and then sell it, and people are just magically going to buy it. Like, I don't think that's a realistic business model anymore today. I mean, it could be, provided you have a really good product, really good advertising, but I don't know. That's really a good thing. So anyway, let's get into the comments real quick. We'll say hi to everyone, and then we'll continue this discussion because this is a real big thing for me. Like, I think it's really important that more people get to start their own businesses. More people get to kind of chart their own course instead of constantly being pulled around by the whims of their employers. So anyway, okay. So we got who do we got in here? We got Chris Molina in here today. Hail Hydra. Goodness gracious. I love comic books, man. I'll tell you what, Chris, like, I've been a comic book collector since I was like really young. And like I said, I was never really into like Captain America type comic books, but man, anytime I see a comic reference, I'm all in. Like, I love comics. I love that whole universe. I think it's amazing what Jack Kirby did and people like Stan Lee did and all these great people that kind of started the comic book industry and really got it going. People like the big one for me was Jim Lee. Jim Lee was a comic book artist in the 90s. He was really kind of known for drawing X-Men and X-Force and comics like that. Jim Lee was always amazing. Like, his style was just awesome. I think he might be the head of DC now. He might not even be drawing comics for Marvel anymore. But yeah, comics are awesome, man. So, okay, we got XXIDAXX. Interesting name there. Hello, good to see you. Glad you're all in here today. Hit the like button, add the discussion. Let me know where you guys are at and what you guys think about this kind of content. And we'll continue the discussion. So we got Isabella in here. Isabella Chio. I don't even know what the heck that means, Isabella, but I appreciate you being in here and adding discussion. It's all good. So yeah, glad to see you. And then we got, who is this? Messi CI or Messi? I don't know how you pronounce that, but good to see that you're here as well. That's good. So anyway, back to the discussion. So we're 11 minutes into this thing. So yeah, so being able to start a company and have a way to grow your income and kind of chart your own course, man, it's super important. And again, as someone who never went the high school route, never did the college thing, just always busted his ass, this has been a great way to really know if you're good at something, right? To really test your skills, to really have something to do all the time, because the truth is that a lot of people, I think, when they work for somebody else, you go do your job and then you come home and you kind of put work away, which is fine. It takes a special person to go to work all day, come home and work all night, and then repeat day in and day out. But it's worth it. Like, it's if I had the choice of doing what I do now, which is work all the time, not all the time, but work a lot on my business, versus going to work for somebody else. Yeah, it'd be nice to have healthcare, it'd be nice to have 401k and maybe a little less responsibility. But at the end of the day, it's nice knowing that if I put in a really hard effort, if I spend a month really working hard at something, I can see whether or not I succeed at. And it's not always good. Like, trust me, I've literally spent weeks building pieces of furniture and zero interest. Like, nobody is interested. But I've had other pieces that we've built that have become Halo furniture, which are pieces that sell, 10 pieces a month, for years on end. And that feels really good. There's other pieces where you're making like custom furniture for people, or you're taking a person's furniture that you picked up in New York, you're bringing it back here to St. Louis, you fix it up, you paint it, you deliver it back to them, and you see how excited those people are. That feels awesome. Like, that's one of those things that, like, people that work at a regular company for somebody else, generally you're kind of specialized, right? So you're kind of handling, like, maybe you're in finance, or maybe you're in engineering, or maybe you're in fabrication, or maybe you're in finish. You don't get to see like the entire process for the most part. And that's one of the things I really love, is that we do get to see the entire process from literally the start of the entire project to the very end of the project. And that feels really good. When you get those letters from people that tell you that they're just blown away by the quality of the work, or they're so happy to finally have this old piece of furniture fixed up and delivered back to them. It's cool. So I don't, just trying to convey to you guys that, like, there's something beyond just money. There's something just beyond doing your kind of daily routine. There's other things when you own a business other than just making money that are super rewarding, and I think it's amazing. So okay, so we got see type. Okay, all right, man, good to see you. You were in here the other day. I appreciate you coming back and adding the discussion. So okay, what do we got here? See, we are in a post-scarcity world. There's no reason people need to work more than 20 hours a week. Okay, yeah, no, that's I think it was Karl Marx that basically prophesized that as the advent of mechanization and the Industrial Revolution and technology advanced that people would actually not really have to work very much at all, because the machines and industry would become so efficient that people wouldn't need to work, right? But we see what's happened, right? Like, the idea that efficiency means that everybody benefits is a joke. Like, it's never going to happen. And with the advent of AI coming online, it's going to get worse, right? So what ended up happening was that as that mechanization came on and that industry began to grow, it just went to a couple of people. It came to the people that created the technology, right? The people that controlled the industry got all the spoils, right? These would be people like your Andrew Carnegie, your Cornelius Vanderbilt, your J.D. Rockefeller, your J.P. Morgan. These kind of people, these captains of industry, they got all the money. And the employees basically got nothing. They got a little bit. People like to talk about, like, the unions, like, oh, they got union benefits, and they got paid time off and the 40-hour work week. Like, truth is, they got nothing, and that's too bad. And as technology has grown, people have had to work more, because as that technology comes on, it's just going to the top people, right? It's going to people like shareholders, boards of directors, CEOs, CFOs. These kind of people are getting all the benefits, and the workers are getting nominal benefits at best. They're getting whatever the industry averages, and that's why we're talking about this. You have to start a company, and what you're saying about post-scarcity, people have access to everything. There's nothing that people can't buy, and it's all super cheap. But the problem is now we're kind of paying for it. We're seeing that as we have access to everything in the world, we've raised the rest of the world's quality of life enough to where the foreign goods are even getting expensive now, right? So when you bring those into America, now those goods are getting expensive. And as the cost of everything here in America goes up, the people that own the companies and that have the workers overseas need to raise their prices to keep up with the cost of everything in their life. Employees, labor, insurance, all these kind of things. And it's pricing everybody out, and it's a goddamn shame. Like, I don't know how you fix it. I haven't quite figured it out. The only thing the only conclusion that I can come to is we need pain. And whenever I talk about this, like, everyone just tunes out because it's not what people want to hear. But what we need is a major depression. Like, we need a recession that just wipes out the white collar people. Like, it pains me to say this, but these people need to go, right? These are your rent seekers, right? These are the people that bought up all of your housing properties, all of your apartment complexes. They bought it all up, and they're just charging exorbitant rents to everybody. There's no need for it. There's no need to charge this much money, but they are, because they can, right? And this is what the market will bear. And again, when I talk about owning a business, when you own a business, as the cost of everything goes up, the cost of your products will go up with it, right? So the market will bear more and more and more and more pricing, and you can charge more, which at least keeps you up with the cost of inflation, the high cost of living. Now, if you work on the image of your brand, if you work on the quality of your products, if you improve your advertising, your marketing, all these kind of things, you can grow the price of your product beyond inflation, right? You can, because of demand, you can increase the price of your product and make more money. You have that option. Whereas if you're a superstar worker working for somebody else, you could be the baddest motherfucker wherever you work, and odds are no one's going to care. You can put out more widgets, right? You can become more efficient, and your boss probably isn't going to give you much praise. And even at your, the best you can hope for is an annual review. You might get a little bit of extra money from doing a good job all year. Like, maybe, like, I worked in manufacturing for 20-ish years as an aviation furniture maker for a long time, and always did really well. Was always one of the best employees. Always worked on the R&D type stuff, and it didn't lead to anything. When I first got into working for other people, I made $10 an hour, and by the time I was done, when I was in my mid-30s, I made $33 an hour. So I basically made, from starting out at 20 to ending my corporate life at I guess it would have been whatever, like 37, 38, something like that. I increased my salary by about $23 an hour in probably 20, 23 years. That's not good. So as a business owner, you can grow that exponentially depending on how good you are at your business, right? How good you are at making a product, how good you are at having other people make your product, how good you are at marketing, how good you are at the efficiency of your operations. Like there's all kinds of things that you can do other than just putting in that time. And that's why I talk about like it's not a get rich scheme. Like there's no secret plan. Like I don't have a plan for you guys. I just try to talk to people about what it is that I've done. And again, as a normie, dude, like I said, never finished high school and just kind of worked his ass off to figure this thing out. And it's just, this didn't work, that didn't work, this didn't work, that didn't work, until I found something that kind of worked, which was basically me and my wife, who was a sales genius, really good at marketing and just a fantastic person at selling things. I'm the maker, she's the seller, and we got a tag team together, and it works, right? And, I handle operations for the most part. She deals with marketing and sales and helps out in the shipping side and really helps to, deal with the customers. And it works, and you can do this kind of stuff, but you got to keep working at it. You got to get really good at something, whatever that might be, and it can happen, but it's very difficult. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but that's what I did, and that's what I kind of like talking to you guys about, again, as just a normal person. Again, we have a business called The Resplendent Crow. You can go to resplendentcrow.com and just see the furniture that we sell, and it's pretty pricey, but that's why I talk to you guys. Like I'm telling you that you don't have to sell dressers for $500. You can sell dressers for $7,000, $10,000, but you got to get really good at it. That's the thing. You got to not only get good at it, but you got to show people what you do. That's why I'm always telling you guys, like, work on your content game. Don't be afraid to show people how you make things. Tell people like why you're so amazing. Like there's nothing wrong with talking your product up, talking yourself up, whatever you got to do, get yourself out there. Like I've told everyone here, when it comes to using things like Google and Instagram and all these kind of these different platforms, there's ways you can create content for fun that will help you in organic searches on Google, that will help you show up in Instagram. And this is all stuff that's basically just showing people what you do, becoming known for your product, becoming the authority on your product. And then given a couple of years, Google kind of indexes what you're making with your business, and you will become the like, know, and trust person for that product. And it's very difficult in the furniture game because so many people make furniture. It's not like it's easy, but I'm telling you guys that over the years, between the Modern Woodrunner, the Resplendent Crow, and the Resplendent Home, all of these things, we've kind of created this trifecta of a funnel that when you search for things like faux bamboo, Dorothy Draper, hot pink dresser, lacquered furniture, any of these things, the Resplendent Crow is going to show up. And that's how we have a business. And so if you're one of these people that, might want to start their own company, they got a garage with some tools, they like to fiddle around, you can do it. But you got to get a website, right? Which you can do on Shopify, you can do it on Squarespace, you can do it on, I think Wix is another one. There's a lot of different websites, WordPress sites, things like that. You got to have something, right? And you got to have a way to sell your product, right? So you got to be on a site that will allow you to take payment, so you got to understand how payments work. And then you got to learn about advertising. You got to learn about showing off your product. You got to learn how to make videos on Instagram and YouTube, TikTok, all these places, and show people what you do. Because truth is that there's a million people trying to start a business, right? There's a million people trying to get rich quick. There's a million people putting out content. And if you're not good at something within this sphere, it becomes very difficult to break through. And if you can do it, you can have a business for a long time. Like I said, we've been doing this for 8 or 9 years at this point, and it's still not easy. But we've been in business long enough that we have a long client list. We got a lot of repeat business, and we got a lot of people that know who we are and what we do, and we're kind of an authority in the high gloss lacquered space. We're becoming more of an authority in the furniture space, and it's a good thing. It's a good business. And the truth is that when you start a business, when you work on a business for years, you do it, decades, you can pass that down to your kids, right? If you got kids, you can, get them in on the game, and if they don't want to do it, well, I don't know what you do, but maybe they do want to do it, right? And then you can show them the ropes, show them how you do this stuff, and then maybe they take it over, right? It's a good thing, I would feel good as a parent, right, to be able to pass that stuff down to your kids, so maybe they'll be interested, So there's it's very hard to do that when you work for somebody else. In fact, a lot of companies have, oh God, what do they call that? When you can't have your kids work for you. There's a word for it. It's escaped me right at the moment, but they don't want your family working together. With a business, you kind of make the rules yourself. Nepotism, I think it's called nepotism. Anyway, so they got nepotism rules where you can't have your kids work at the same company you work at, or your spouse or whatever. When you own your own business, it's not a problem, you know. So yeah, owning a business is a good thing. It's going to help you to beat the inflationary situation that we're in, to kind of stay away from this haves and the have-nots, get you closer to the haves as opposed to the have-nots, you know. And then the last thing I'm going to say about this, we don't have a ton of comments, so I'm going to give you guys some more information here about what kind of business you want to go into. So when you have a situation where you have a big class divide, right? You've got the haves and the have-nots. You got the people making less than $30,000 a year, living on welfare, and then you got the people making, you know, $150,000 a year and above, right? There's not a lot of people in the middle. They're kind of getting squeezed out because there's nothing for them to do, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, point is that if you're going to start a business, something you should think about is you should think about who's my customer, right? And the truth is that if you know you're right into a situation where you have haves and have-nots, right? You got, you know, $30,000-$40,000 and below, or you got $150,000 and above. Obviously, you're going to sell to people that have money, you know. So this goes back to being good at what you do. I talk about this all the time. Like, you can't go into business as a novice, right? Like, you got to really be good at something. You got to put in the time, your 10,000 hours, so to speak, and you have to be able to be competent at what you do, you know. So if you're gonna start a business, you need to find a product that wealthy people like, because unfortunately, that's who's going to be there. They've always been there. They always have money. They're always spending. When there's a recession, rich people got money. When times are good, rich people got money. It's the only group of people that are, you know, are going to be a constant source buying stuff. You know, even like we're in a slow housing market right now, which hurts the furniture industry, but wealthy people are still buying houses. Wealthy people are fixing their houses. It's the same thing when I worked in the private jet industry. When there was the 2008 financial crisis happened, like everyone was out of work. It was really bad. But the private jet industry was about a year behind all that, you know. So while everyone was losing their jobs and freaking out over their homes and stuff like that, we had tons of work. We were working 60, 70 hours a week, lots of overtime, buying houses. And then it hit us a little bit later on, but it wasn't nearly as bad because, again, rich people always have money. And some people don't like to, you know, don't like to hear that. But again, if you're going to start a business, you got to tailor to the rich people. It's just how it is. They've always got money, and they'll always buy your products if you have a good product. But I mean, the thing about wealthy people don't buy junk. You know, they don't, they're not interested in buying your Chinese bullshit. They want to buy good, high quality American-made stuff. When I was in the jet industry, most of your best jets were made in America, right? You have like your Bombardiers, it's like that, which are made in Canada, which are obviously of high quality, but they use a lot of American electronics, right? Gulfstreams use, I think they use Rolls-Royce engines now. They might have switched over to General Electrics. I don't remember right at the moment. But their avionics, you know, avionics is going to be your Garmin avionics. They're going to be Rockwell Collins. These are American companies. And that's what wealthy people like to buy. You know, they just really like good, high quality stuff. When it comes to cars, you know, they're going to want to buy German stuff. That's pretty common, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, so if you're going to do a business, you're going to sell a product, you might as well make a high quality product that wealthy people can buy, and you'll always have a customer, you know, provided you deliver a good experience, give a decent value, and have something that's high quality and very unique. That's very important. So, you know, we got Sammy and Alexia in here. Hello, good to see you. If you guys are in the feed, hit the like button. And again, add to discussion. Business is something that people really need to get into. I hear a lot of people, you know, everyone's always trying to tell you, like, just follow my plan. This is all you got to do. Or buy my course, you know, or they're constantly trying to sell you something. I mean, even if like you get on YouTube, right? You got on YouTube today, go to your woodworking videos, you know, which is like the space that I talk about. All your woodworking people on YouTube, are any of them selling woodworking stuff? Have you guys ever noticed that? Like, none of them sell furniture. Anything that they make, they don't sell the products that they make, right? They're not trying to do that, because the truth is that they don't make their money doing any of that stuff. They make their money selling you advertisement for VPNs, you know, for things like BetterHelp, boner pills. And then if you go and you look at their link trees, right, on their websites, they're selling you drawings, they're selling you some kind of sponsorship, sometimes they'll sell you like master classes, masterminds, things like that. None of them sell furniture, which I always found to be kind of interesting. That's all that we sell, right? And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that wealthy people aren't going to buy your mastermind course, right? They're not going to buy your VPNs and your boner pills. They're always going to buy high quality furniture. They're always going to buy, you know, high quality automobiles, houses, car repairs. They're always going to use high quality services because they got money, right? They understand how to make money. And that's what I tell people, like, you got to make products tailored specifically for wealthy people. And if you're, another quick thing, if you're trying to sell using an internet, right? You got a website, something like that. If you can move out past your whatever 50-mile radius, you can open up your product to millions and millions of people. When you do advertising, you can open up your advertising to millions and millions of people, and you get better value when you do things like advertising and marketing. That's one of the things that we did. So we're able to sell our furniture product, which is kind of difficult to ship around, to be quite honest with you, but we're able to sell things literally all over America. And so we have just gobs of clients up in the Northeast. Even though we're located right here in St. Louis, Missouri, we've got tons of clients in the Northeast, Connecticut, New York, Boston, places like that. And then tons of people down in Florida, Naples, Miami, of course, everyone knows about Miami. But we have a lot of clients in the Dallas, Austin area and things like that. And again, if we were just limited to St. Louis, I don't think we would have a business. It would be more like a garage-based business because there isn't enough business here to keep you paying for all your bills, right? To pay my wife's salary, pay my salary, pay for our home, cars, kids, things like that. There just wouldn't be enough business, I don't think. But because we've opened it up to the entire country, it's allowed us to have a nice middle class living, So anyway, that's what I want to talk about today. I appreciate everyone hanging out, and I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday. And I don't know what we'll talk about tomorrow, but I did a talk this morning, talk a little bit more about tariffs and manufacturing and what people are missing about tariffs specifically. So if you get a chance, go back and listen to that in the morning. And yeah, because we import hardware from India, we kind of understand how this stuff really works. And there's a lot of people talking about tariffs and importing that they just don't know what they're talking about. They're basically just reading something that somebody else read for them. And it's a damn shame, because people need to get the truth about what tariffs actually mean and how manufacturing actually works in other countries. So anyway, y'all have a great day, and I will yak till later.